conversation. When Labour clash, the ripple effects can paralyze an entire economy. The Nigerian Labour Congress NLC is mobilizing for a full-scale nationwide strike over its disagreement with the Dangote Group, accusing the conglomerate of a deliberate anti-worker crusade. The Labour Union alleges that Dangote Group has engaged in practices that undermine workers' rights, including unfair labour conditions and disregard for collective bargaining agreements. The NLC insists that the strike is necessary to protect workers' interests and send a strong message that corporate entities cannot trample on labour rights with impunity. With the strike looming, the potential disruption to Nigeria's industrial and economic activities has raised concerns among stakeholders who are calling for dialogue to avert the industrial action. Okay, this back and forth has been on for a while, but BK, talking about NLC, what specific unfair labour conditions is the NLC accusing Dangote of imposing on workers?
The Dangote company had issues with Dapman, had issues with Nupeng, had issues with NATO.
Okay.
NATO had issues with Pengassan. Now, what Dangote sees going on is like a conspiracy on the part of Pengassan against his company, while aligning with rival industry players. That is their biggest concern. I don't speak for them, but I can sense the way they are thinking, the way Dangote, the management is thinking, because that man is worried. NATO is worried that increasingly Dangote is coming fully into their territory. And the extent is going, especially the importation of
the CNG
trucks, you know, that will be fired by CNG, would take a good number of them out of business. They don't believe that one person should control refining, depot services, retailing. They don't believe that that should happen. But as I've said during the interview here that we had, he has already brought in those trucks. I don't see what anybody can do now to get him to not use trucks that invested that much money to bring. And he believes that that was the best thing he could do, because the other people, that man and the rest of them, were bent on asphyxiating him. That is one leg of the problem. But clearly, Dangote believes that Pengassan is aligning with industry players that are bent on seeing his hand and seeing his refinery crumble and not succeed. So that is the problem.
Okay, BK, we're going to continue with this conversation. We need to go on this quick break, and when we return, the conversation continues. All right, we're back on the show. Now, Mayor, the NLC says that the strike is necessary because Dangote is allegedly trampling on the rights of workers with impunity.
I don't agree. I think it is corruption fighting back.
Corruption?
Yes, and I'll tell you why. Prior to now, there was a cabal within the oil sector that held us down. Our refineries have not worked for decades, and yet members of Pegasus are collecting salaries every month for doing nothing. When Obasanjo was there, Obasanjo, about the time it was going in 2007, sold Kaduna and Port Harcourt refineries for Blue Circle. When Yaradua came in, the same Pegasus and Nupeng kept harassing him to say they were going to go on strike, that they would not allow Nigerian assets to be sold. Yar'Adua rescinded that decision. From that 2007 till now, the refineries have not worked. The members of Pegasus do not feel that these refineries are not working and our members are there collecting salary every month. They didn't say anything wrong with that. The problem they have is that the cabal, for you to, because the cabal is entrenched, Dangote coming in with his refinery has changed the game.
Okay, but because of our time, we need to find a solution. Okay, but what advice would you have for? Would you give to the parties
advice,
involved?
The advice that I will give
the
is
federal
this.
government, Dangote,
the advice that I will give is
Pegasus?
this. That I will give is this. We have ASU that we have just discussed.
Yes.
They have a union.
Okay.
ASU is a union. But they didn't force lecturers from private university that they must join ASU. We have NURTW that is very prominent, that controls every garages everywhere. They didn't force members of those having luxurious buses that you must come and join the union. You know, union must be temporary. And the mistake they are making is because we are just backward. Amazon, when they came up with the idea of doing direct marketing for people to buy anything you want to buy, you buy online and all that, they know that it will be difficult for them to rely only on UPS and DHL and all that. They went into the logistics of distributing those things.
Mayor, because of our time, what advice do you have for the federal government in handling this matter? What should the federal government do?
The federal government should be able to call everybody, all parties together to look for ways for solving it.
We're doing that now.
Yes, that's what they are doing now. That is what the federal government can do. Because
so the NLC and Pegasus,
they should relax.
They should relax.
Why I'm saying they should relax is that Dangote refinery is too important for economy for them to do what they want to do. You do not put a 20 billion investment in jeopardy to say you want to cut gas to the place, you want to make sure they don't produce. If anything happens to Dangote and it becomes one of our refineries, I don't think that's in national interest.
Mikhail, your advice to all the parties.
I would have advised both parties to stop being rigid. They've got to find a way to come together. Dangote should be ready to negotiate. Pegasus should be ready to negotiate. What I don't want to see is NLC coming into this. I believe that this matter can be resolved before NLC comes into this. The other day, the NLC president was beaten up in Imo State, and they said that they were going to go on strike, a nationwide strike. That was not how the NSC used to go on strike in those days. Yes, workers are out to protect their interests, but I don't think this issue should lead to a nation.
So you see them as a meddlesome interloper here?
No. Don't say that. I will never say that. What I'm saying is that it should not degenerate to the point that the umbrella labor body in our country will now call everybody out. That means even workers, teachers in other sectors will get involved. You do know what it means? Even now, we are losing more than 15 billion a day.
Yes.
Electricity generation has gone down.
Yeah, because of the gas.
Yes. And Dangote cannot produce fertilizer because gas is a big component in the production of fertilizer. If they cut supply to that place, so which I understand that they've even done, we don't need this at this time. There is no matter that cannot be resolved.
Absolutely.
If people agree that, look, this matter not reach this level now, but calling someone a capitalist, calling him a bad person, that's not the solution. He's out to protect his interests.
True.
The same way you are out to protect. But at some point, people must
compromise.
And not all Pegasus staff are refinery workers. Some are involved in crude production and export. So it's not all of them that don't work.
All right.
Yet they get paid.
All right, gentlemen. Mayor, thank you so much for doing this with us. Appreciate you. BQ, as always, it's good to have you back.
Thanks.
It's really good to have you back.
Good to be back in
Exactly. And also that's it on Journalist Hangout today. Join us tomorrow for another edition of the show. You can also watch the repeat broadcast of this episode at 11. Join us on Sunday from 1:30 to 3:30 p.m. for Journalist Hangout on Sunday. We are on YouTube at youtube.com/TVC News Nigeria. I'm Benga Oreshegun. Bye for now, and God bless Nigeria.